Welcome, everybody, to episode 4 of the Canuckleheads podcast. My name is Justin. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Wes. And we have some hockey to talk about. Real, regular season hockey. Where points matter. This is not Whose Line Is It Anyway. So, first and foremost, we probably should have done this 3 episodes ago on episode 1. We want to give a shout out to Chris Buckingham, my cousin and his brother. Every piece of art that you see, like thumbnail, podcast icon that pops up, however you choose to listen, Chris made that. Chris edited the last video because I was having all kinds of issues with it. So thank you, Chris. If you want to go check out his Instagram, it is at Christian Ethics. He does a lot more than just cartoon pictures of us. So there's all kinds of crazy shit he's working on. So.
And yes, thank you very much, Chris, and happy birthday to you. Hope you had a great one.
Yes, Chris, the man, Buckingham. So we will get right into it. It is the regular season right now. That after tonight, the Canucks have played 2 games. We are recording this on Friday, October 15th, just because stuff is coming up this weekend, so we can't do it tomorrow and wait till after the game. So before we get to the games, we'll talk about the roster. We'll talk about the one more thing from the preseason. The game against the Edmonton Oilers. I think we should just talk about the Zack Kassian, Zack McEwen fight.
Yeah, that's a great place to start.
Yeah.
It was just a crazy incident. And yeah.
Not a great fight. Like, it was a staged fight, right? It was off the face-off. It was 2 guys that are known to do that being like, hey, you want to fight because we have to. So
kind of a freak accident.
Yeah, like I think me and you have similar opinions where the stage fighting is dumb, but when it's a heat of the moment, like
then it's
then I'm all for it. But I'm not a fan of the stage fighting because some guys try to keep a job.
We're both at the wing, and it's like, I'm a tough guy, you're a tough guy, let's just go.
Yeah,
like,
just because it's what we have to do.
Not a big fan of that.
Yeah, so it was. And so what happened, if you didn't see it, they got in a fight, and then just the way Zack Kassian fell, he cracked his head on the ice, and I believe he was unconscious for a little bit. He was not moving, out. And just, so it was a scary scene. He's in concussion protocol, didn't play on opening night, so we just hope all the best for Zack Kassian. So. Which
I hate that happened, because I honestly really liked like the old school fights where they would like just toss the buckies down and then go at it. But the refs now are trained to stop the fight once the helmets come off. But like, you still see it now. Like, that's the guy's main objective, is to get a hold of that chin strap or get a hold of the jersey, then get the chin strap, and then try and get the helmet off.
Yeah,
so
you don't want to cut your hand up on a visor or something, or even cut your opponent. But so Zack Kassian, we hope you're doing good.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I have a Zack Kassian Canucks jersey. So. Let's talk about the roster and who made this team and who didn't. So in my notes here, I have we knew most of who was going to make it. There was one big surprise, and we'll talk about that right now, is Phil DiGiuseppe. Got sent down to Abbotsford.
There was a couple shockers to me. Number 7 there, I can't even remember his name because I don't think he should even be in the lineup.
Nick Petan?
Yeah. Did he get sent down as well?
No, he's on the squad.
Okay, yeah. And see how he gets that spot over DiGiuseppe, I have no idea, but
I think because Petan plays center a little bit.
So they're just looking for more center options, especially with Brandon Sutter out?
Yeah. Okay. So
that makes a little bit of sense, but at the same time, it's like his game just isn't at the level of DiGiuseppe's, I don't think. So
yeah, I really thought, and I think the majority of Canucks fans thought DiGiuseppe had a spot on the roster.
100%. Especially since they got rid of Gadjevich. Like, come on. Like, I thought that was an easy pickup. But...
Yeah, I was very surprised to see his name on the waivers. So the kind of the notables that I have making the team were Justin Dowling, Matthew Highmore. I figured he would be on the team, but just, he was
I was
fighting for
never high on Highmore.
No, he was a big Gaudette fan.
No, but seeing him in the past 2 games, I see what they're seeing now. He played pretty damn good in these past 2 games, and he really works on the line they've put him on. So now I'm really turning around to Highmore, and I think he's fitting in a lot better on the team now.
I have Kyle Burrows, who is a surprise too, and again we'll talk more about him later, but I've also liked him the last 2 games too. Brad Hunt, who hasn't dressed in either of the games yet. He's your 7th defenseman, or 8th with Luke Shen, whatever you want to go with, and Nick Patan. So, yeah, really, to me, DiGiuseppe was the only surprise. And I didn't think Nick Patan really did a lot, but he plays center and he had 5 points in the preseason, so I'm sure that stands out a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's more about his position than anything.
Yeah. Let's go over Travis Hamonic being put on waivers too. He went unclaimed. I really don't know if he would report to Abbotsford or not, like, unless he plans to join the Canucks at some point. Like,
I don't know.
He'll go there for a conditioning stint or something. Like, I have no idea this situation here.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah, you'd figure if somebody was going to claim him, obviously they would have, but if a team was looking at him, so maybe it's just a case where if we trade him, we have to retain some salary or something like that, right? Like, maybe towards the deadline if it's... Or who knows if he's even going to play. Like,
who knows?
It's tough to speculate.
Weird situation.
Yeah, Hamonic getting put on waivers was a bit interesting to see that too.
Yep.
So we lost another one, Wes. Big Mac.
I know.
Zach McEwen was claimed by the Philadelphia Flyers, who will come up later in the episode.
Which he was putting in work, as in fights, in these preseason games even. I think he was really trying to show them, like, I deserve a spot, even though he wasn't doing a ton in the play. I just feel like he was trying to make himself noticed in other places, which that's his fighting realm.
Yeah.
Which, it sucks to just see that go unnoticed and him still get put on waivers.
Yeah. I mean, he did fight 2 pretty tough guys and former Canucks, Erica Branson and Zack Kassian.
Yep.
But away from that, there really wasn't much. Like, I don't even remember, like, little moments of being like, okay, there you go, Zach. You know what I mean? Like, so that... But it's unfortunate because we both really like Zach McEwen.
I love Big Mac, and it's sad to see you go, but I know you're on a good team now, and I know they will play you. So.
Yeah, and I really like the fit with Philly.
For sure.
The Flyers fans are going to like him if he gets a good run and gets back to playing how he was in his first run with the Canucks.
Most definitely.
Because he was an effective player.
Like, and that's, like, the game that you went to, he sniped a goal bar down, and I was like, if Big Mac can do this consistently, besides just fight, like, that would have been really exciting. So. Yeah.
No, Big Mac, you were always a fan favorite on the Canuckleheads podcast, and we wish you nothing but the best in Philly. So, thank you for your service. Another roster move, we have a trade. We have Olli Juolevi, former 5th overall pick, going to the Florida Panthers for Noah Juulsen and Juho Lamiko. Yeah. That's how you say that. So Lamiko, they have him listed as a left winger, but I believe he's played center the last 2 games on our 4th line.
Interesting.
And Noah Juulsen, I remembered him being a first-round pick. I remember there being a lot of buzz about him back in the day. He's a defenseman, right-hand shot. I believe he's a year younger than Olli Juolevi.
And Olli's a left-handed?
Olli is a lefty, yeah. And the Juolevi and Juulsen are very, very similar in the fact that they were both, like, highly touted prospect defensemen that just had a lot of injury, bad luck. They're, like right after they were drafted, which, for defensemen, they always say it takes a little bit more time for them to develop, so you want them to play as much as possible. And when you get hurt immediately and miss large amounts of games, it's hard on your development. So
yeah.
I like the trade for both guys. It's kind of a fresh start, right? There's no more pressure on Juolevi to perform and he's going to Florida, right? Like, the Canucks fan base and media and everything is ravenous and very smart, and like they know what they want, I think, and it's Juolevi, I don't think could really live up to that.
And I think that Jack Rathbone just pretty much took his spot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? And then Elliot Friedman there. Did you see him on the desk with Bieksa and he had the Rathbone jersey?
Oh, did he really?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. He was just saying, like, my new favorite player on the Vancouver Canucks even bought the jersey. And they're like, you didn't buy that. And he was like, oh, no, I bought it with my own money. So that's good. And it's good to see Juice. A shout out from him. So.
Yeah, Juice is the man.
Yeah, Juice is the man. And there's a few shots thrown on that broadcast. I'm backing up Juice all the way. You better watch out Elliot.
So yeah, I like the trade for us, especially Lamiko has been playing, and I've actually liked his game too, but again, we'll talk about that later on. And Yuleson's in Abbotsford. He had already cleared waivers, so I think we actually got a fair bit for Juolevi, just trading him on kind of name alone.
Yep.
So, and, you know, we got a prospect that's a right-handed defenseman, and those are a pretty hot commodity. So
they are. Hopefully,
you know, Juleson can get his career kind of back on track and start rolling again. He's a BC boy, so we'll see how that goes. Our last BC boy, Jake Virtanen, did not pan out very well,
but Troy Stetcher, still love you.
Yeah.
Another BC boy, let's go.
Yeah, so that's all kind of the roster news there. All the guys you expected to make the roster made the roster.
Besides that, there was no other surprises there.
Yeah. So I think we can get into some game action now.
The Edmonton game.
Yes. So we opened our season in Edmonton on October 13th, Wednesday night, against the high-flying Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl were playing on a line together tonight, so that was fun. Yeah. Overall, you could tell it was the first game of the year. Like, McDavid didn't really dominate.
No.
He still had 2 points.
Hyman looked really good.
He did look good.
He's a big piece to that team now, and I felt like he was a key element, and you're going to see that as the season goes on.
Yeah. Yeah, so this game here, I don't have a ton of notes on it. It was a pretty even game. I felt the first period was like pretty back and forth. The Oilers had a little bit of jump at the start, but
200-foot game. It was just up and down the ice,
and then it was just kind of back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Smith was really good. Mike Smith was great for the majority of the game.
Yeah.
I will say, like, Mike Smith is a good goalie, but man, I do not like the guy.
Yeah, and see, I don't mind him. I respect him because he's kind of a tough guy goalie, and he definitely protects his D-man by going behind the net and slinging pucks out, and he has great passing, but don't love him. But at the end of the day, I'm not an Oilers fan, so I could really care less.
Like, honestly, I guess if he was on the Canucks, I'd probably like that kind of feistiness, but it seems like every time he just gets like bumped, he's got to go out of his way to punch somebody or just you know what I mean?
He makes himself look like a dick a little bit.
Yeah. And there was the one play that I'm actually glad got called where somebody took a shot on net and Pearson turned around to catch the rebound and Russell
he got hit
cross-checked him in the back into Smith, and Smith is getting mad at Pearson. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, Russell did that. Your own guy did that to you. And then you get a penalty.
They showed what Pierce said in the corner, and he was saying to him, like, buddy, watch the replay. Like, your boy cross-checked me into you. So
when the refs are going to call those, I like those because that was a dangerous play. Like, Pearson has his back turned and gets destroyed by a cross-check right in the back.
And almost takes out their goalie.
Yeah. So that's just... You could cause 2 injuries. Like,
if they're gonna crack down on cross checks, that one has to be called.
Yeah, that's where to do it.
And they got that right.
Yep. Niels Höglander was great. His line was good. Dickinson and Highmore.
I think that was our best line that game.
I think so too.
They had a lot of energy, and that's what I mean by Highmore like really fitting in now. Like, I feel like he's playing with the right players right now, and that kind of enhances his game.
Yeah, and it seems to me like maybe the team gave him a set role, and now that he's on the final roster, he has that confidence, right? And he just knows, like, go out and create some energy.
Whereas when we get rid of Gaudette, who's a goal scorer, and I loved him, and then you put Highmore on that same line, and it just didn't fit, and it was just the wrong energy, and I just didn't like it.
Yeah, and Gaudette... Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, but now he's playing in a perfect role. Yeah. Like, his line has speed, and they kind of play that aggressive game, just dump pucks on net. And
and it works for him.
It works for him, yeah.
And Gaudette was kind of an in-betweener almost, where he's too good for the AHL, but maybe not quite an NHL player. I think he's been scratched a couple times with the Blackhawks already. So.
Third or fourth line guy. 100%. Like,
maybe.
Put him on Detroit. Put him on any of those teams that are a little bit down on the tier list there. And he'll do good things.
Third line on a bad team. Yeah, I can see it.
Gaudette, that was not a shot from me. I like you a lot.
I like Gods too, but...
Different Selly every goal. Let's go.
Saying, like, maybe that's what he is as a player. I don't think he's not good enough to be in the league. I just think he's kind of an in-betweener.
And that's the thing. Like, the reason he didn't work out on our team is because he was asking for more minutes. And it's like, man, you're just not a first or a second liner. But
I really do wish we would have gave him a shot on the wing. I think he's a much better winger than he would be at center.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another thing we should talk about is the Giraffe, Tyler Myers, laying a massive hit on the piece of shit known as Duncan Keith.
And I couldn't wait to talk about this on the pod because as soon as I seen it live, I was like, Justin hates Duncan Keith. This is going to be amazing. He was leaking. JT Miller goes up, says, hey, you're leaking.
Yeah,
hey, bud.
It was fucking great.
I loved every second of it. And then Mizey has the peace of mind to know one of them's going to come after me, drops the mitts right away, handles business.
Yeah, I have that noted here. There's a scrap. I don't remember who it was he fought, but
No.
Clean hit.
Very clean.
I think
they took a penalty on that.
Yeah, for the instigator.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like, Tyler Myers, like, that's what we want to see out of you.
And Duncan Keith, you had that coming for a long time. Long time.
Tyler Myers handled
no one feels bad for you.
Nope.
So, great job by the Giraffe. Something he doesn't do very often, like laying a big hit, but it surprised me after I saw it. I was like, wow, Myers
looked like he was out to prove something.
And in a weird spot too, right? Like in Edmonton's corner, like when Keith was getting the puck, Myers was there. Like,
and that's what I think. Like, I think like he's such a big guy. Sometimes it's hard for him to line hits up in the league because it's such a fast game now. And that one was just like perfect timing where he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill this guy." Yeah,
and with Myers too, like being a big guy, like he can't just throw a hit because he's gonna get called for hitting in the head and things like that. Just the way his body lines up.
He misses that hit, the guy's gone.
Oh, yeah.
So positionally, you put yourself way out, right?
He was already way out just to make that hit. Like, I don't know why he was there.
Yep.
But
he
whatever.
Does that.
I loved it. Good on you, Myers. Yeah. Keep it up.
Attaboy.
So, 9 years after the Daniel Sedin elbow that Duncan Keith threw, still gets booed every time for that hit there.
That was a bad one. Injured a player, not good.
Yeah, and just got suspended like 2 games.
Yep, and Justin remembered that, so you got what you had coming to you.
Yep.
Canucks karma.
You know, it's kind of shitty to say that. Like, we shouldn't root for somebody.
Hey,
not that he was getting hurt. He had that hit coming for what he did.
That's the thing. It's karma, man. If you do stuff like that in the league, it's going to get done back to you.
Yeah, so next, Canucks didn't score until very late in this game. Like we said before, Mike Smith was having himself a game.
But who scored it?
Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Let's go.
OEL. After being switched with Quinn Hughes on the power play. So OEL has been on power play too, and he got switched with Hughes and then just threw a shot on net. Nugent Hopkins deflected it, and it just went in on Smith. Nothing he could really do on that one.
No. Yeah, it looked like the shot was almost going to go wide on the right side and hit his stick and then went perfectly into the left side. So it was just one of those lucky plays where... And
again, there was 3 guys in front of Smith on the goal too, so you can't really blame him for that one. But 100%. Good shot by OEL.
And that's what we want to see out of him. Like, that's all we want. So.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was not surprised to see them switch out Quinn because I've seen in the intermission, they interviewed Quinn Hughes in between the second and the third period. He was gassed.
He played a lot this game.
Exactly. They were like overplaying him and he was just huffing and a puffing in that intermission. So I was not surprised to see that whatsoever.
And so this was a power play goal and definitely you could see the first couple periods, there was some rust like from Petey and just the power play in general. Like they're not 100%. Clicking yet. So as the game went on, they got a little bit better, and like Petey still didn't have a.
He's getting into it.
He didn't
with
have a horrible game. He had some moments too, but you can tell his timing is not quite there yet. Yeah. So,
and another thing too is that what was I going to say? I just lost my train of thought. I don't know why I just lost that.
You're talking about Petey. Elias the Alien.
Yeah. Oh, what was I going to say? I think it was about Quinn. Whatever. We'll just get back to it. I'll think of it again.
All right. So next, we have a very late goal from Quinn Wolverine Hughes.
Yes, sir.
He had the puck kind of up along the boards by the circle, and Petey was doing a flyby, threw it on net, and Smith never saw it and went in and lucky for us to tie the game up here. So
love seeing Huggy get his goals up. Let's go Huggy.
Yeah, especially we both had him as the highest Canucks goal scoring defenseman.
Yep.
So
and I had OEL up there too, so did. I was pumped to see them both get one.
No, you and I both had Hughes OEL as our 1 and 2 for goal scorers. So
yep.
we are keeping track of that even in game 1. So eventually game goes to overtime, fairly even overtime. Goes to a shootout. Canucks lose 3-2 in a shootout.
I thought that was a really exciting overtime, though.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to gloss over the shootout at all either, because I felt like there was a couple close chances. And then, was it Nuge that scored first and then Bo answered? Can't remember. I think it was Nuge who scored.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, but Bo's up to bat.
Then Kyle Turris for Edmonton. And then once I saw Tanner Pearson was shooting, I'm like, why?
That's what I said too, but I think Greener already had him in that position, so he didn't want to pull him out and like ruin his confidence. He was like, we're going to go with him. I would have loved just put Huggy there.
Yeah.
Screw it.
Or OEL, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Get the fans excited.
Yeah, it was so weird to see
Pearson in that position, like, this is the game on your stick.
Yeah, and then he shoots and misses the net. So.
Yeah.
But the 2 goals Edmonton scored in the shootout, like, I don't want to blame Demko because he was great, and it's a 1-on-1, right? It's hard to be good at the shootout, but they were I felt like he could have stopped them, you know?
Yeah, but and that's the thing, the goalie has so much more equipment on than a player. It's like the player just can shimmy and shake you, make you think one thing, and just total deception. I don't blame the goalies at all for that.
I don't either. Both the goals were just
fluffy.
Shots. You know what I mean? Like the guys just shot and beat him. So
yeah.
But yeah, Demko was great all game, so I don't really want to start game 1 by burying our goalie. So.
No, we love you, Demmer.
Yeah.
Come on now.
But yeah, like you saw the moves that Bo had to pull to score on Mike Smith, and the Big 2 goals we had to score, like he didn't see at all.
No, and they were not easy goals.
Yeah. One thing we should mention too before we move on here is the Zach Hyman power play goal was ridiculous.
It was.
It was a cross ice pass from McDavid, then a cross crease pass from Draisaitl, and shout out to my buddy Graham Miller, who was messaging me during this game. I think he said it best. A pylon could have scored that goal. And 100%. Draisaitl gave him such a good pass.
It was a tap-in.
Banked it off anything.
Honestly, Draisaitl probably could have took the shot and just gave him an absolute muffin of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a beauty.
But
and that's what I mean by Hyman on that line. Like, you put him on the power play with those two, it's almost lights out.
And that would have been Jason in last year. But
Jason.
Yeah, just 2 of the top 5 players in the world being the 2 of the top 5 players in the world.
Yep.
So yeah, like I said, shout out to Graham Miller, who also wanted me to mention Captain Anklebender, Ryan Smith, his favorite player there. Graham specifically asked me to say that, so there you go, buddy. Moving on to tonight's game against the Philadelphia Flyers, who did not dress Zack McEwen. He's got visa. I don't want to say issues. He's working on a visa to go to the States to be able to play. So no Zach in the game tonight, which kind of would have been fun. But
it would have been fun, and I kind of wanted them to drop the mitts with someone on Vancouver, just to kind of like add a little bit of fun
like
to
Jim
it.
Benning.
Yeah, I wish Jim Benning. You've made a few decent moves here to kind of bring yourself back with the fans, but be careful.
We got off to a shaky start.
And
Louis Eriksson contract. Ooh.
Honestly, like putting Gadjevich on waivers, just like whatever. I'll get over it eventually.
We're still salty about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was game number 2 against the Philadelphia Flyers in Philadelphia. Canucks are on a 6-game road trip to start the season. So the start of the game, they announced the starting lineups. They had Podkolzin with Petey and Miller, and Garland was playing with Bo and Pearson. So
love it.
I liked it too. Right early, like Myers was looking like Myers, and he took a tripping penalty, and I was kind of like, oh shit, is this the start of an avalanche of penalties from this guy? But no, just the one tonight. So I have it noted here that I really like Burroughs, Pullman, and Lamico.
Honestly, the way that the D pairings are set up right now, I think Pullman and Hughes are a solid pair.
I like it too. Pullman he's a better skater than I thought he would be, and he can make some plays. Like, he's not just a one-dimensional defensive defenseman.
And they're both really good passers, him and Quinn.
Yes,
so it doesn't matter what side of the boards that pass is coming up. Both guys are capable of making a pass to break into the zone, and I just feel like it's a really, really good pairing. They've looked solid. And even, I know in the last episode, we gave the OEL Myers pairing a bunch of shit, but so far they've looked pretty decent.
They haven't looked horrendous.
I thought it was going to be way worse than it is. Not bad, honestly.
It has not been a tire fire. So
no,
we'll just put it that way.
I think you've got the perfect matchup in Burroughs and Rathbone on the third pairing.
That one is interesting too because I think Burroughs played 5 games or 8 games last year, and Rathbone has played 5. So it's a inexperienced third pair defensive pairing, but they have not been bad.
And they know they have to perform.
Yeah.
So they're like both elevating each other's game, right?
I don't really recall them ever getting, specifically because of something they've done, hemmed in their own zone for a while. So they've been fine.
They've been good.
Yeah.
I like the pairings right now. I don't think you mix those up.
Yeah, and
not
Burroughs,
on D.
Burroughs, same thing. Like, he just makes smart plays. He's not. 100%. He knows he's not Quinn Hughes. He's not trying to do anything flashy out there. So
him and Rathbone just have to defend. That's it.
Yeah. So I just have it noted here. Like the Canucks weren't making good plays in their D zone. Miller had a bad turnover. He just wasn't moving his feet and just tried to make a pass across the ice in his D zone that got picked off and led to a lot of pressure for Philly.
And I knew this would come back to my mind. Remember when I pulled dead space there a little bit ago? It was our power play 1. Not looking good. They had shaky times last season too, but it's been really bad here. And they're really going to have to practice those players together. Just in practice, just really setting up plays, figuring out set plays that they can make on the net, because we just looked horrendous on the power play 1. So
yeah, sometimes even when we're going at full force, it feels like shaky. They can be picky.
Yep.
Like somebody will get a pass and he'll be like, "No, that wasn't perfect." So,
don't get me started on Elias Pettersson being picky with passes
he
because
does seem a little picky.
Oh my god, and it's ridiculous. Let it fly, man. Let it fly.
When he does get that pass, it's going in the net. So you know what I mean? Like, he's picky for a reason, but I agree with you.
Too picky.
A little too picky, yes.
There's a big difference. There's a fine line there. Right?
But he's still young. He'll figure it out.
No, for sure. It's just I'm being a little over analytical just because it's Petey and I want him to score a lot of goals. But it just seemed like there was 3 passes in a row to him on the power play and he kept feeding it back. And you could tell it frustrates the defenseman.
Yeah.
They're like, man, just shoot the puck. It could potentially go off the goalie and set up another guy. Like, you don't have to snipe. Like,
it's never a bad option to get a puck on the net.
No. Don't be so picky, Petey. Come on now, let him go, let him fly, baby.
I think a lot of it still is him getting his timing right. Like, I don't think he feels it yet.
Yeah, he doesn't want to whiff on a pass and look like.
Yeah, I give him like a handful of games, and if
get ready,
you know what I mean. I'm not worried about him at all. He's still getting, and Hughes too, right? Like,
he's the alien.
2 guys that didn't play a ton in the preseason, so
for sure.
Pearson had a bad turnover too that led to a lot of pressure from Philly. So yeah, it was just a bad first period tonight. It was Philly's home opener, so they were into it. The crowd was into it right off the start. So I think they were up 2-0 at the end of the first.
They were.
Yeah.
And then we came back strong though.
Yeah. So to start the second, I think Podkolzin and Hoglander swapped lines. I don't know if Pods went to just the 4th line, but I know Hogs went where he was playing. So Hog with Petey and Millsy. So, and then right away we have first career goal for Vasily Podkolzin.
Let's go, baby. I had you high on my goal chart, so let's get it up there.
Sniped one.
Yeah.
Great play by Tyler Myers. Made a nice move in the neutral zone.
Breaking into the zone, chipped it over to Pods.
And just a great shot.
And that's the thing. The goalie was really only having to pay attention to Podkolzin. There wasn't really a pass there.
Yeah.
So for him to still snipe like that, it was really impressive.
Yeah. So congratulations, Pods, first of what we hope is many in a Canucks uniform.
And that's the thing. Some guys, their first goal is like off someone else's shin pad and in. Yeah. So for him to just completely snipe it, that's got to feel good, and it boosts the confidence for sure.
Yeah, it was a nice goal. And then we had a goal from Elias the Alien Pettersson on the power play.
Let's go.
Bad bounce. I think it got deflected.
Yeah.
It hit a defenseman in front or something. It bounced off the boards, hit Carter Hart in the skates, I believe, and went in the net. So,
and you could see Petey, he looked to the heavens after, like, why is that my first goal of the season? But hey, we get them however they come.
Yeah.
So.
The 80 games from now, nobody's going to remember how that went in. They're just going to see it as a goal. So,
yep.
So Petey's on the board with his first of the year. Then we have a goal from our man, Alex Chason, who neither of us wanted on this team. But
still don't.
But another power play goal. He was He scored with 1 second left on a 2-man advantage.
Yeah.
So he was doing what he's supposed to do, right? Which at least he's doing that.
Which, just to clarify, the puck didn't even come off his stick. Well, technically it came off his stick, but then it came off his
hit him in the skate.
He didn't even know he scored the goal. I guarantee you. I don't like Chiasson. I definitely don't think that he deserves to be on the line he's on. I just think that they can't really put him on any other line, so it is what it is.
He was on the 4th line tonight, actually.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just remember the Edmonton game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
well, that makes sense.
Yeah, and like, you know what? He hasn't been bad now that the regular season has started. Like, there are other options. I would have preferred DiGiuseppe over him, but like, I'll give him credit for going to the net.
And battling.
Puck bounce off him.
Yeah,
right?
he was battling, most definitely. And I feel like he kind of just took that position just because he's a big guy. 6'4". I feel like we're just kind of looking for some big bodies out there, and I feel like that's kind of why he filled that role.
And really, it's, as much as it's shitty to say this, I think putting him in front of the net is fine, because who cares if he gets hit with a puck, right?
100%. It's like what Edmonton is doing with, what's that young kid, 13, on Edmonton? Puljujärvi. It's like they want him to play that role. Yeah. You know what I mean? Stand in front of the goalie, screen the shit out of him, and let's score big goals.
That's how he scored
his
goal.
And potentially tip goals, you know?
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, and like, with Chiasson just being a power play specialist, right? Like, if he gets hit with a puck being in front of the net and is hurt for a significant amount of time, right? Then you're just losing, you're losing a 4th liner instead of like Brock or Bo, who would be there. So it's not a bad thing, but there are other players I would have preferred. Which,
Brock, heal up, baby. We need you in that lineup. Bump Chiasson out of here. Let's go, Brock Besser.
I guess we should say Brock didn't play in Edmonton or in Philly tonight. Some speculation he could play tomorrow in Detroit. So hopefully.
We need you to be healthy, Brock. Let's go. Need you to get the 40. I put you at 40 for a reason. Let's go.
And then I just have it noted here that Connor Garland, man, do I like the way this guy plays.
Love
He's
it.
So shifty and just like...
I really liked him with Bo.
I did too. And just when he has the puck in the offensive zone, he's so hard to contain.
Yep.
There was a play where he was heading towards the corner in Philly's end. And the way I read it when I was watching it was like, okay, he'll probably just get pinned against the boards here. And he just like cuts hard to the right and he's gone and creates a scoring chance. And that's just... He's kind of the master of the spinorama right now, and just these sharp little cuts.
Which I'm glad that you touched on that, because I always talk about Quinn Hughes in his circles.
Yes, you do.
And Quinn Hughes kind of cuts in these loops, and Garland's just sharp cuts.
Yeah, Garland's like a zigzag.
Exactly.
Like,
and it's interesting to mix that dynamic up.
Yeah, and like he's just a little guy, but he's so hard to get the puck off because he's shifty and just...
Yeah.
He's fun to watch.
Which I have kind of seen the knock on him. The knock from other analysts was that he falls down easy. Have seen him fall down a couple times.
Once or twice.
But guess what? He gets back up and still maintains possession.
Yeah.
So I don't care how many times he falls, because he's still maintaining possession and making plays.
Yeah, and he's a lot like JT Miller in the way that he is a driver on his line.
He's sure.
He's not getting pulled by somebody, he's pulling. So
you're noticing him every second he's out there.
So I like having him on the team and being able to go on like all 4 different lines. You wouldn't play him on the 4th, and just, you know, when he's there, he's gonna get a line going.
Yep.
So yeah, I've
Garland.
Really enjoyed Connor Garland so far.
And look at both those pickups from Arizona. They've been nothing but great for us.
Yeah, I have no complaints about OEL.
Jim Benning, tip of the cap.
So actually, talking about OEL, he did take a penalty that led to a Philly power play.
Yeah.
It's a questionable penalty. I didn't really see any great angles on this, but he swatted at a puck in the air, and it looked like he hit the puck and it hit Travis Konechny in the face. The refs called it a slash. Honestly, I'm not going to say it was the right call or the wrong call, because there was no real good angle to see. So, yeah. But it's not really his. It's kind of his fault, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a tough one. Call.
Yeah.
But yeah, that... we're getting ahead of ourselves here too, but that kind of led to Philly getting 4-3 in the third year. I will say there was a goal by Millsy. Hart just kind of lost the puck. Petey shot it into his feet. He had no idea where it was, and Millsy just kind of tapped it in.
Just jammed it.
Yeah. Hart was having a rough second. He looked shaky. He wasn't challenging. He was getting deep in his net and just getting beat by shots. And, So yeah, Hogg, I have, again, he had a great back check to break up a scoring chance for Philly, and he's been great. He's been our best player these two games.
I 100% agree. Hogg is just a beast, and doesn't matter. I really like him and Highmore just because they can skate really fast and they can battle hard. Yeah, and Highmore just kind of whips it on net, which obviously...
Works for Hogg.
Exactly. Yeah, he's shown he can score from anywhere, so it works perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, Hoglander fairly easily has been our best player. He has zero rust. He's hit the ground running, and had 2 assists in our first game, like just causing all kinds of chances and just being relentless, like he
always is.
So yeah, we had a bad tying goal in the last 2 minutes, I think, of the first period there. I think there was a minute 20 left.
But a sweet goal.
But yeah, no. So it was a great pass by Sean Couturier. This was a set play. Claude Giroux pointed to the boards, and Couturier bank passed it off the boards, and yeah, Giroux, it bounced off Demko's head, but it still went in the net.
He made no mistake on that shot.
But what I didn't like is the Canucks put zero pressure on Philly.
No, for sure.
It was they pulled the goalie, and I believe the Canucks had a penalty. I might be wrong on that. But they just were like standing around waiting for something to happen instead of being aggressive and like...
Which opens up the passes for them.
Yeah, like even if you're just pinning a guy on the boards for a couple seconds, you're still killing time. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and you're taking the guy out of the play.
Yeah, they just stood around and waited for the puck to come to them, and
I agree.
They got scored on. So I would have liked them to be more aggressive there.
Yep.
So yeah,
which I like that you said that, because Philly was very aggressive on us.
Yes.
Anytime one of our players had the puck, Philly was just rushing us. And I think that's kind of the tip on us right now is don't give us time and space, because you give us time and space, you're in trouble.
Absolutely.
And so Philly kind of, they peeped game and they went after us.
Yeah.
But we still won.
Yeah. So this one went into overtime, and the overtime was all Canucks.
Yeah.
They were chance after chance after chance. I think they knew Hart wasn't having a solid game. Like, after that second, they knew he was shaky.
Which, honestly, I don't think there's many teams that can hang with us in overtime. Our overtime lineup with JT Miller, Petey, and Huggy is just so dangerous. Then, like, you even see McDavid and them. They struggled with them.
Yeah, I would say we controlled maybe not majority, but more overtime than the Oilers. But, yeah, and we just have a lot of pairings for 3-on-3 hockey. Like, and now you can throw OEL out there with, Garland.
I like Bo out there.
Hoglander's been getting some run at 3-on-3. Best when he comes back. Like, it's like we have 3 lines to roll.
And this is another reason why I love Travis Green. Look at Hogg. He's been potentially our best player so far. Travis Green throws him out there. Hey, man, you've been great. Get your ass out there. Yeah. Love that from Green.
And even then, too, like, I think you can shorten the D bench to just OEL and Hughes in overtime.
100%.
Or you can throw in Myers.
Fuck that. Mizey, I'm sorry. Love you, bud. Not happening. OEL, Quinn Hughes all day.
I just mean, like, if there's for whatever reason, if one of them is, like, not ready. Like, throw Myers out for 30 seconds.
We seen that last season. They did slot him in there a couple times here and there, but it was
not as a permanent rotation. Just these guys need a break.
Yep,
Myers,
get out there.
Yeah,
yep.
You're kind of an offensive, or even maybe Rathbone towards the end of the year. You know, like roll those 3 guys.
Yep.
As long as Rathbone's like,
playing good.
Yeah, not making bad mistakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we go to a shootout here. Thatcher Demko is great. Made a great save off Claude Giroux, when Giroux, he went kind of backhand forehand, and once he made the deke, I was like, okay, that's probably a goal. And Demko did like the splits and just caught it with the toe, like pad right on the ice. Great save.
Which NHL, step your game up. We watched, I had to watch the highlights because I was out for supper. You didn't even throw that save in there. Step your game up. That's a highlight reel save. Throw it on the highlights.
It was a good one. Petey just shot and scored. Carter Hart, again, just backed right into his net and gave Petey a lot of room, and just one of the just a elite level sniper that you're not challenging at all. So you gave him way too much net, and Millsy scored a nice goal too, where he came in slow and just beat him with the same move that Giroux was trying, I believe, and just tucked it in.
Which I was just talking smack about JT Miller, because in the Edmonton shootout, and this is what he does. He skates wide left, he walks in and just tries a quick little snapshot. come on, Millsy. You got more moves than that, and you proved it in this game because you could tell Carter Hart thought you were going for the shot. Then you go backhand, you score a nice goal.
Yeah,
Mix it up a little bit more, you'll get more goals.
It was a nice move by Millsy. So yeah, Canucks win this game 5-4 in a shootout. So we got 3 points out of 2 games on the road trip so far. The Edmonton one, once we tied it up, obviously you always want the 2 points, but in retrospect, I'm glad we got at least one out of that.
100%.
And this I think was an important game, as kind of almost dumb as it is to say that in game number 2. No. But if we lose tonight, right, then you go into Detroit without a win.
Yep.
Like, that's a lot of extra pressure you're putting on yourself to beat a Detroit team that you should.
Yeah.
And, they have that win now. Like, I still expect them to beat Detroit, but, it's not like a must win in game 3 already.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I kind of liked having the short season last season because it really showed teams like every game matters. And I feel like this is a season where every game is going to matter as well.
Absolutely.
We need every point we can scrounge up. So the fact that we've gotten a point in our first 2 games, more than happy with that.
Yeah, and like giving up a point to Philly, it's shit. Like, we should have held on and won this game, but at least it's an Eastern Conference team, so that point's not going to bite us in the ass later, right? Like, with Edmonton, like, who knows? Maybe it does. Like, maybe they beat us by a point for the last playoff spot or something, but...
Yeah, so we snagged 1 point against Edmonton, 2 tonight against Philly.
Yeah, so, off to a pretty decent start for the season. I like the Canucks game in Edmonton, even though they lost. They still played good.
We had some shaky minutes, but, every game's going to be like that, especially playing against the best players in the world. It is what it is.
You're never going to dominate a game 100%,
no.
So...
Yeah,
so that was... I've been pretty pleased with what I've seen so far this season. We play again in Detroit tomorrow night, October 16th. We'll cover that in the next episode, just kind of the way things shake down. We wouldn't have covered that tomorrow anyways. We usually record these like in the afternoon. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think that is pretty much it. One thing that I would like to start doing for these episodes is I found a great Twitter comment.
Let's go.
Canucks Twitter is...
It's on fire. Let's go.
It's pretty negative a lot of the times.
Hey, whatever.
But it's kind of fun to just sit back and
it's fun to throw some shots. Yeah.
So when I see a good one, I like to save it and go over it, like how I talked about the last episode. So this was after the opening night of the NHL where the Canucks did not play. So this, and I saved it so I can give you a shout out here, is from Jordan Savage. So it's at JRDNSVGE. And he tweeted, "Canucks start the night tied for first in the NHL. Now they're tied for last. Only Jim Benning could accomplish this." That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Every time he reads out one of these, he's going to shout out whoever posts it.
Yeah, I'll start taking screenshots so I can remember.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that one. I like, because Canucks Twitter can be a very negative place. I do like to try and find some of the funny gems in there, because there are a couple. But yeah,
no, for sure.
That was a good one. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much going to wrap up episode 4. Another good week of Canucks hockey.
Yes,
regular season has started. 2 for 2 on regular season games.
And we got a big game tomorrow. Can't wait to get another 2 points. Not looking past our opponent, but I think we got the dub.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see. It would be weird to see Troy in the Red Wings game. I won't lie. I didn't watch any Red Wings games last year, so to see him play the Canucks for the first time
would be cool.
Be different. But yeah, I wish all the best for Troy, just not against us. So.
Yeah.
He's going to score like 2 goals against us tomorrow. Just watch.
Hopefully not. He might have a few tricks on Demko, but I'm sure Demko knows his moves. So.
But yeah, thank you for tuning in.
And thank you guys for the support once again. Make sure you subscribe, please, and comment down below.
And check us out on Spotify, Apple, iTunes.
Everything.
Not iTunes. The podcast app, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Basically anywhere you can find podcasts. And if there's somewhere that you listen that we're not on, like if you're watching this on YouTube, let us know and we'll try and
get on
the podcast there. So yeah, thanks, and stay tuned for more episodes from the boys.
See you guys.
Fuck yeah.
Another good one in the bag.